Well, hello and welcome to KTN Weekend at 1. It is Saturday, the 28th of June, 2014. We kick off this bulletin by joining our team of experienced journalists who are down in Eldoret to give us the nitty-gritties of what exactly they're doing there. Good afternoon, Yvonne Okwara.
Thank you very much, Najma. Yes, indeed, we are in Eldoret for KTN Bottom Line, this month's edition. And I am at the rooftop of the Sirikwa Hotel, from where we'll be broadcasting tonight at 6:30 all the way up till 10 p.m. rather. We will be discussing the issue of tribalism. Now let's just talk about how serious this issue is, not just for Eldoret but for people around the country. Now, as I was coming into the hotel this afternoon, I met a young man and we started having a discussion on our topic tonight on KTN Bottom Line. And this is what he said to me. He said, you know what, I'm not tribalist and I'm not violent, and as you can see, we had a rally here and we're fine. And he made an insinuation and said, you know, where you come from, what's your last name again? Where you come from, aren't you violent? Aren't you the people that sort of perpetuate this sort of thing? And it may have been innocent and innocuous on his part, but these are just some of the stereotypes that we knowingly or unknowingly put forward. And these stereotypes, these conversations have an effect on the country, as we have seen in the last few years or so. And that is why this discussion for us is very critical, to talk about the stereotypes, the conversations, and the effect they have on the ground, as we saw in 2007. It is an honest discussion, an open one, a painful one, but one that must be had by the country if we are to move forward. John Alanamu is just a few floors below me in the hall from where we will be conducting KTN Bottom Line tonight, and he has all the preparations for you. John?
That's right, Yvonne. And just before I take you through the preparations, I mean, feedback's already coming through on our hashtag KTN Bottom Line. Sharon Achieng says the word has cost us much. It should be banned. That talking about tribalism. Abdul Rahman Mohammed says great debate, but tribalism is more cancerous today in Jubilee than in PNU and CORD. I mean, tribalism taking a political dimension and perspective. We're going to have a very raw discussion about this, whether it's politically driven or whether it's driven by other factors. But in here, the Baraza room, this is where the conversation, the boiler room, so to speak, is going to take place. Behind me, we're going to be having panelists from across the country, people who are members of cultural associations, as well as bloggers, columnists, political columnists. Of course, the people here in Eldoret will have a major role in taking part in this discussion as being part of our audience here. The room will be is empty now, but about 96 seats inside here, as well as seats on the veranda of the Sirikwa Hotel, where people in this vicinity can come and join this conversation and also contribute what their perspectives are with respect to tribalism. Remember, though, you can still follow this conversation at home. We're going to be broadcasting from 6:30 p.m. up until 10 p.m. And you can follow us on the hashtag KTN Bottom Line, as well as our usual SMS lines. There also is an email that you can contribute to, bottomline@standardmedia.co.ke. Send us your email, send us your feedback. Talk to us about how tribalism has affected you. This conversation is going to also include victims or survivors of ethnically motivated and tribal attacks that have taken place here across the country. Like I mentioned, we also have people of a more elderly extraction, people who come from the cultural associations in Kenya. For example, Fares Rutere, who is a member of Njuri Ncheke, as well as a national chairman of the Cultural Association of Elders here in Kenya. Remember to join us, a very important discussion, one that we must have, not one that we ought to have in order to move this country forward. Join us at 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. today and tomorrow for KTN Bottom Line, and understand the bottom line with respect to tribalism. So back to you, Najma. I hope you're going to be in your seat as well, listening to us and also contributing from where you are in Nairobi.
Definitely. Thank you very much, John Alanamu. Indeed, make sure you join them at 6:30 p.m. and you can participate in the conversation, hashtag KTN Bottom Line. Moving on now, former President Kibaki has hit out at political leaders for wasting time in divisive politics at the expense of Wananchi. Kibaki said no meaningful development will be realized through mere politicking. He wants leaders to focus on constructive actions that will benefit the people who require their services. The former head of state made the remarks after he commissioned a water project in Kajiado County. The electrified borehole project sunk by the American Millennium Water Alliance is meant to serve more than 5,000 residents.
Mimi najua kwamba hakuna kitu ingine inafaidi watu isipokuwa zaidi kwamba waamue kufanya kazi pamoja. Tena hata wale siku ingine, kila siku mkunaona watu wamesema maneno kavu ambaye anatukana mtu mmoja, mwingine ametoa neno anataka kutuambia mimi wewe sasa hata ukijitangaza au uwe nini hutakuza mboga moja hata kwa maneno hayo.
Now, 2 members of the National Assembly from Muranga County have dismissed Mani Coalition leader Mudavadi's spirited defense of the detained Lamu Governor Isa Timami. Kandara MP Alice Mudhoni Wahome and her Kangema counterpart Tyrus Nyingi have asked Mudavadi to let the police do their job of investigating and arresting anyone suspected over the Mpeketoni, Kaisari and Betu killings.
I don't think per se it is Mudavadi we work with. The Jubilee works with the leaders, elected leaders of that party. And I don't think their loyalty is actually to Mudavadi as per se. Their loyalty, it is to good leadership. And I think we would want to ask him to stop idle threat. Otherwise, he should put his threat into action. He's welcome to resign, to withdraw his support.
So let them talk, but let the due process take its course. Whoever it is, you must face the music of the law. Nobody is above the law, whether you are governor or whether you are who. Wewe lazima upate hiyo discipline. Kama ni kufungwa, ukionekana uko na makosa, utafungwa.
ODM nominated Member of Parliament Odinga has defended himself against claims of skipping National Assembly sittings. His defense comes at a time when some members of Parliament have been pushing for an amendment to Article 103 of the Constitution, which states that missing 8 Parliament sessions without the Speaker's permission can cause an MP to lose his or her seat. A biometric system of registration has been installed in Parliament, replacing the traditional manual sign-ins to make it easier to identify the absentees.
That these allegations are very malicious and they are damaging, and they need to be treated by the contempt they deserve. I have been a member of Parliament of Kenya for now 20 years. Over the 20 years that I have been a member of Parliament, I have never had any allegations of laxity or neglect of duty or non-attendance.
To the row over unused county funds now, and Kiambu Governor William Kabogo has vowed not to return any money to the Treasury, saying that the money was given only last week and they haven't had time to put it into the budget. Kabogo was reacting to the hotly debated report by the Controller of Budget to the Senate, which indicated that most counties were yet to fully utilize the monies they were allocated. He was speaking in Thika Town.
Hakuna siku pesa ya Kiambu itarudi Nairobi, na msome katiba vizuri. Pesa ya Kiambu ni ya hapa. Tumepawa pesa ya mwisho juzi, si lazima tukimbie kwa benki tuchukue tutupe ndio isemekane tumetumia pesa. Pana mpaka kwa mipango kadri ya sheria ama mujibu wa sheria iliyowekwa.
Now to rather disturbing news, a baby said to be a few days old was found dumped outside a home in Kitengela town earlier this morning. The baby was found shivering in the morning cold, having probably spent the better part of the night where it was dumped. The owner of the home, Agatha Tajeo, took the baby to Kitengela police station and later to Kitengela Health Center for checkups. Doctors say the infant had chest problems due to the long exposure to the cold weather. Area Chief Moses Kasaines said investigations are underway to establish who might have dumped the infant there.
Mtoto mdogo ni wa siku 2, amezaliwa hospitali juu ako na peg, and then ni mtoto wa kiume.
Mtoto mchanga kama huyu kupatikana akiwa hai, na tunashukuru kwa sababu tumekuwa tukiokota watoto wengi ambaye wamefariki, na huyu akiwa hai ni maajabu ya Mungu. Amechukuliwa sasa na maafisa wanaosimamia idara ya watoto, wamepelekwa hospitali ili serikali sasa ichukulie kutoka hapo.
The Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution says that so far the process of devolution is showing signs of success. Speaking as they gave a report on their assessment of the devolved units 1 year down the line, the CIC and the Senate have agreed that resource allocation to counties and the question of accountability remain the biggest challenge to devolution. The report was launched in Nakuru yesterday.
The appropriate sections in the public finance management in consultation with other institutions to ensure that resources that go to the county go actually to development significantly. County assemblies is like National Assembly. National Assembly, katika budget, parliament, katika budget and national government, out of about 1.6 trillion, they get about 16 billion. It's 0.01% or something like that. But we have county assemblies that are insisting that they should be given half of the money that goes to the county government.
The question is for members of parliament. Why haven't you approved the audits of even 2012, 2013? Why not even 2013, 2014? Why haven't you audited and approved those ones? And yet the Auditor General, why don't we do that? So that we can then use that as a basis. If that is not possible, then we may later on be requesting, and the Senate may have to agree with us, that we may need to just change that provision so that we can then be able to proceed. We want to deliver the services and we want to assure Kenyans that we are focused on this and we want to do just that.
You must be careful as governors that the people do not get the wrong understanding of devolution. If the people of Kenya define devolution or understand devolution as long mortgages and as ostentatious presence of governors, they will begin to lose the confidence in devolution. If members of county assemblies, if the people of Kenya begin to define devolution by reference to, like I was reading in the papers, by reference to trips out of the country, how many trips have been made out of the country, by reference to the level of quarrels that you are having with members, with the governors and the executives, the people of Kenya will begin to lose confidence in devolution.
Now, the United Nations has pledged to help Kenya in restoring homeland and regional peace and security. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, after meeting President Uhuru Kenyatta at State House, said the UN will work together with Kenya in restoring stability and fighting terrorism. On his part, President Uhuru Kenyatta affirmed the country will continue cooperating with the United Nations in its operations.
It is my hope that under the leadership of President Kenyatta, Kenya will enjoy prosperity and peace and harmony and security. And this is my sincere hope of this morning. In addition to this, what I said this morning, I had a very good discussions on major political and security issues concerning the counter-terrorism, Somalia, and the South Sudan and Great Lake region. We have exchanged at length about how the United Nations and Kenyan government can work together in countering these heinous terrorist attacks against the people and the country. And the United Nations is determined to work together with the Kenyan government in helping enhancing the capacities of Kenyan government and many African countries who are suffering from this international terrorism.
UNAIDS has just started its global IT hub here in Nairobi, and the World Health Organization has located its global security unit here. These are only recent examples of UN agencies taking advantage of the IT and human resource advantages that Nairobi offers. We intend to build on this and will work with the UN and its agencies to offer as much support as necessary to aid their work. As a government, we are doubling the diplomatic police unit and working further with the UN on its infrastructure improvement plans to ensure that their experience and work in Kenya for the world remains top class. We have also noted that one of the landmark reforms that the Secretary General has effected is a broad drive to make UN operations more cost-effective and efficient by utilizing technology. My government supports this drive and is ready to work with the Secretary General to ensure that these efforts are fully realized here in Kenya.
Well, that's it on KTN Weekend at 1. Thank you very much for watching. But make sure you join Yvonne Okwara and her team who are down in Eldoret for KTN Bottom Line. It starts at 6:30. My name is Najma Ismail. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.